Hi, it's Rachel here, founder of A Mother Far From Home, a language of listening parent coach, a certified baby toddler sleep consultant, and mother of 5 little ones. So today I want to dive into this. Timeout is damaging to our kids, true or false? Years ago, of course, everybody did timeout. It was like the standard thing. And now we see a lot of people really wanting to move away from timeout, and they're saying that it's damaging and shaming and disconnecting and that it's not effective and that we shouldn't do it. And so I just want to dig into this and talk through both sides, because my goal here in this video on this YouTube channel is uncomplicating family life. Let's uncomplicate it. Let's make sure we all parents have tools in our toolbox that will help our kids in our nurturing and loving home. So let's dive in. First, I want to say, because often I see when people are like, you can't ever do timeout, and then you can't ever do timeout, it's damaging to your kids, they're going to end up completely isolated, in jail, rejected, they're not going to feel part of the family. And then the other side is, your kids, if you never put them in timeout, are going to be completely entitled and deranged and crazy and disrespectful, and when they become teenagers, you're going to rue the day that you didn't do timeout. So I kind of, because I love to think about why people do what they do, I kind of see both sides to this. So let's think about the people who say timeout is bad. Timeout is bad. These mothers obviously value connection, trust between the parent and the child. They want to make sure the child feels nurtured and not sort of just shamed and abandoned and punished in anger. And these are all good things. These are excellent things. Now, the mother who would say, but timeout works and I want to use it, they will also value boundaries. Having children, helping, guiding, training, disciplining, or whatever word you want to use, to help their children learn to follow the rules. And they want to make sure that they're consistent in helping their children be able to do that and set them up for success, right? And I see both sides of this. I'm sure that you see both sides of it if we dig into it and think about it that way. But one thing I want to bring up, have you guys ever noticed this? In all of the articles that will say you shouldn't do timeout, and it almost every time, it's like, how would you feel if you were feeling out of control and crazy and somebody just sent you to your room on your own? Send me to my room. You know what? Everybody's acting crazy and the kids are complaining and they're fighting and somebody just yelled, everybody's running around making animal noises and whatever else. Send me to my room. Please let me stay there. I know that's not a perfect example because I'm a grown-up and that's why I want to escape my life sometimes, and I'm not a kid. But sometimes I think what we get into with this and all of the sort of polarizing issues, and this is big for me. I love it when I come across these. I love it because, see, I love to play devil's advocate. I'm an ENTJ and I'm an 8. I basically have the worst personalities on. It's just bad personalities. So immediately I want to argue with somebody, right? What I think has come down to a lot in this timeout thing is what I like to call a connotation situation. This is what you feel about that term. So for example, someone, when they hear the word timeout, they think shaming, rejection, punishment. You want to make your child feel bad. You want to send them away from everybody else and show them a lesson. This is what you might have, whereas other moms might think timeout. This is when my child bit their sibling, and so I said, hold the phone, go sit in your room and calm down for a minute. And even in the kids' room, they're probably reading books and playing with their toys. So these are two different connotations, and it really matters because, of course, we all have our own connotation for words. This is normal, this is how life works, right? But when we think about a connotation we have for something, and then we put a blanket rule like we can never do that or we should always do that, this is when it gets kind of, because what often people say who are against timeout is they'll say, we're not gonna have timeout. We have time in. Or I'm not gonna make them go put their head in the corner, but they have to sit down in a chair beside me. This is still time out, because time out, all it is time out of the normal day to stop, recoup, regenerate, recalibrate, right? How we do it really doesn't matter. It's just a breaking of the day to stop, reset, let's come back. A child's flipping out, you know, having a tantrum, having a meltdown, they're yelling, they're fighting, they're refusing to do whatever they're supposed to do, they won't, you know, they didn't do whatever it is. We need to kind of say, zoom out, let's stop the normal day, let's recoup, let's just think about what's going on. Let's both get in a calm place, and then we can go forward, right? Because of course we can't reason with a child who's freaking out. Nobody can reason with us when we're freaking out. This is normal. So I think I like to think about when parents say no timeout, that's damaging. I feel like I have missing info here, okay? because I want to know the parent's demeanor, right? If you have a loving family home, they're very supportive, very encouraging, very connected, lots of times through the day where they're really wanting to understand their child's behavior, they're making sure they're validated, and then the child breaks a rule, maybe for the 10th time, or maybe it's something severe, you know? And then the parent's like, you're gonna need to go to your room and calm down, and I'm gonna need space, we need space right now, and then we're gonna come back. I don't see how we can think this is damaging, right? Because sometimes we need space from our kids so that we can calm down before we do anything, right? I'm struggling to see how this is damaging. I don't know, maybe it is in some way that I can't fathom, right? So I need information. Is this already a loving home? If you're already in a loving home, and you have the child sit down for a little bit after they did something crazy, I'm struggling to see how this is damaging. And another thing I want to know, another piece of missing information from the movement of no time out is, how is it done? How are we thinking it should be done and not be done, right? Because if we're making sure we're connecting afterwards, let's come back and talk. What happened? How are you feeling? You know, what happened right before that? You know, we're digging in, because it's true, the more we dig, we get all kind of info from our kids. So if we're just like, go to your room, stay there for an hour so I ain't gotta look at your face, and then they come back out and we pretend it never happened, well, we're not getting anywhere here. We're not getting down to the bottom of what happened. If it's a cyclical behavior, we're not figuring out why they keep getting triggered. Obviously, this really isn't effective, because this is just giving you a break for a little bit. Well, it is effective to give you a break for a little bit, that's true. But it's not preventing any future behavior from happening. So clearly, any kind of timeout, we're gonna have to circle back and talk, right? So we've said, is timeout damaging, true or false? But I don't have enough information. I don't have enough information about your particular family and the way that you do life, and then the way that you do timeout. We can't know. One thing I'm really wary of, this is as a certified sleep trainer, as well as a parent coach, what I have found in recent years is moms feel like they have nothing they can do that will not damage their kids. So they feel like they can't do anything. So they might have, I often find this with moms who are, you know, very connective, very nurturing. These are kind of their more core values. Empathy, they really are strong on this with their kids, you know. They're just an empathetic, understanding, lovely person, you know. And they can be particularly susceptible to thinking anything they do that makes their child unhappy is damaging them. So now when their child lies, kicks, steals, bites, runs away, refuses to do chores, all of these things that kids can tend to do, they don't think they have any tool in their toolbox, because they think every tool is damaging. So Jimmy bites Jimbo hard because of a red Lego, and all they can do is talk about Jimmy's feelings. This feels very disempowering for mom, and so then they're always going to talk about the feelings. Talking about the feelings doesn't help kids keep their boundaries. Sometimes it might, you know. Banner. We can't outsmart our common sense. We have to have some tools in our toolbox to be able to pull back and say, wait a minute, the day's getting out of hand. I'm feeling crazy, you're feeling crazy, whatever's going on is just ain't working. We just need a little space. A little bit of space, okay? And however we do that, beside us, in their room, or whatever, I don't know, I'm not making rules about this, okay? I don't live in your house, I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I want to be careful that we don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Of course, as time goes on, we look back and we see research can show certain things that always happened didn't really work, or maybe the way they were done. You know, just strict punishment. Go to your room, stay there all night, don't come out. I think we've moved past this. Except maybe in some extreme situations. But so to throw the whole baby out with the bathwater because it's damaging our kids, I don't know about this, because I think it is important in every family that we have boundaries and that kids learn how to adapt to boundaries, because we have to do this through all of life. And if you're already a mom who values just knowing your kids and loving them and nurturing them and setting them up for success and helping them learn life skills and survival skills, and you know, just letting them be uncomfortable sometimes, letting them be frustrated. If you're this kind of mom that's creating this, you know, soft place to land at home, I'm just struggling to see how having them sit by themselves for a couple minutes to calm down after they've been screaming at their sibling is going to be damaging. So I just hope that this encourages you if you're in the middle. Mainly I want to talk to the mom who feels guilty, like she can't do anything when her kids start. Because the truth is, your kids are going to do things that are really crazy and naughty sometimes and shocking. And if you feel like you can't do anything about it, or you can't take a space for yourself, or you can't have them take a space to calm down, you're going to begin to feel powerless and out of control. That's going to trigger you in many areas of your day. You're going to feel very triggered, like you can't like all of a sudden your kids are your responsibility, how they behave is your responsibility, but you can't do anything to help them behave better because that's gonna damage them. This is a hard place to be that I'd like us not to get in. So, is timeout damaging to your kids? True or false? I guess it depends on how you do it and what your home life is like. But I hope that this has helped you to think through both sides. Don't overcomplicate family life. You know, we're gonna love our kids, we're gonna teach them to follow the healthy boundaries that we have created for their good. We're not gonna take every little thing they do so seriously, right? We're not gonna catastrophize that you know, your kid who kicked the brother, then they're gonna be in jail because, you know, we're not gonna do that. We're just gonna, it's just not this complicated. We're gonna love them, we're gonna help them to follow the rules. And we don't have to second guess every little thing that we do. So I hope this gave you a little bit of food for thought, and I will see you on the next video.